Hey guys, welcome to the movie Podium. This week we are capping off our Spieltimber, a month dedicated to Steven Spielberg classics, with a 1977 sci-fi drama, and without further ado, we present our next movie. I'm your host, Matt Scott, and I'm here with my dudes, Cooking with Kevin.
Hey, that's me.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I don't get the song today? Oh, there it is. All right.
I'll give
I
it
dig
to
it.
you.
Cooking with Kevin. Cooking with Kevin.
And hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello.
Hello.
And a friend from ours, and a friend of ours from the Gram, Luke.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, what's up, Luke?
Luke, welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be
If
here.
you haven't checked out his Instagram page, Mr. Movies, stop and go do that. Seriously, he's got great taste and a unique posts that are fun and thought-provoking.
And very controversial.
Oh, we're all about that here.
Yeah.
Luke, what inspired you to start posting on social media? You mentioned it was a side hustle.
Yeah, so pretty much, once COVID started back in 2020, me and my family started watching movies together a lot. So I just really started getting into film then. Pretty much watched a movie a day. Got a decent film background, then just decided I wanted to share my very hot takes. So I made an account. I kind of worked my way from the bottom, and now here we are.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got
Started
over
from the
3,000.
bottom, now I'm here.
Yeah, you have over 3,000 followers. It's pretty cool. And honestly, yeah, a lot of your stuff's really thought-provoking, real fun to interact with.
That is always the goal. It's all about the interactions.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. All right, ready for some random ass facts?
Hi.
Bring
All
him.
right,
Yep.
let's do it. So, this got a 7.6 on IMDb.
Thor .6?
A Thor .6.
That's
Okay.
pretty good.
4.6.
Yeah, which I guess that's about what I expected.
Yeah.
It's lower than the other Spielberg movies that are, super high. But it's not a bad film.
No.
It's had a long time to get chiseled away.
Yeah,
Definitely.
agreed. So there's some pretty interesting facts in here. This actually won an Oscar for cinematography, which is pretty crazy considering this was against Star Wars and Annie
Yeah.
Hall.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I didn't look into that, but I can
Yeah.
see it.
Good.
Cinematography. I mean, yeah, I could see it. This was one of the first movies where they actually had CGI.
Right.
And it was
Which is
done
pretty
fairly
cool.
well
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean,
for its time.
for its time.
Definitely.
Yeah, I thought the aliens even looked similar to Signs, which
Yeah.
it's like 30, 25 years later, whatever,
Yep.
right?
The alien
We're
design
still
was
showing
filmed with a
aliens
VHS
the same
camera.
way.
Yeah, right. Oh, I forgot. If anybody has one, cheers.
Oh, yeah.
So while it's not specifically explained in the movie, Spielberg got the title from an alien researcher, Dr. J. Hynek's Alien Close Encounters Classification System. So the title itself as The Close Encounter of the Third Kind, well, there's actually a first and second kind. First kind is a sighting of a UFO. The second kind is physical evidence to prove the existence of an alien. And the third kind is actual contact with alien life form.
I
Hence,
did.
Close Encounter with the Third Kind.
Yep.
I think I actually knew that before I watched this movie.
Yeah, and
Just
it's-
from crazy shows on History Channel and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting because, again, it's not explained at all in the movie, but it was just something that Spielberg... And there's a lot of stories on how he came up with the plot, and some of that had to do with a lot of this guy, Hynek's research.
Right.
There's quite a few casting what-ifs for Roy Neary, our main character. including Steve McQueen, who apparently said he couldn't cry on cue, and I guess that was essential to the film.
That's the reason.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently that was it. I feel like he just was trying to bail, and that was the nice way of putting it.
Sorry, I can't cry on cue, so I can't
Yeah,
whisper.
right. Spielberg then went to Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, Jack Nicholson, Gene Hackman, and James Caan.
That's
Wow.
a long
Let
list
that
of
sink in.
That is a long list.
good names.
A-plus listers.
Yeah, very good list.
We were just talking about James Caan earlier.
I know. All of them turned down the role. So Spielberg then went to his friend from Jaws, Richard Dreyfuss.
His
So he
buddy.
was like the 10th choice on that list.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
Who the hell can we get to play this fucking part?
Yeah, pretty much. Which is crazy because that same year, Dreyfuss won Best Actor.
Yeah, not
you
for this
believe
movie.
For this
No.
or what?
No.
Not for this movie. No. It was Goodbye Girl. The Goodbye Girl. It's
I have
pretty
not seen
crazy
that.
to have. Yeah, it's crazy to have two movies like in that Oscar breadth in the same year
Right.
like that.
Definitely. Especially in
just
that
talked-
time era.
Yeah, especially in that time. I mean, we talked about it on Catch Me If You Can. Leo had Catch Me If You Can and what
Was it Gangs
Oh,
of New York?
Yeah, thank you. Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
In the same like
Yeah.
2-week span.
Yeah,
That's
they were
probably the
released
only
the
other
same
Wow.
month.
right. And that's
crazy.
probably the only other time I can think of off the top of my head that was like that. Pretty nuts.
Hot
Definitely.
streak.
Yeah, that's a hot streak. That's a Jeremy Lin.
Yeah,
70
Lin
year
Sanity
streak.
Run.
Well, yeah, Lin Sanity
Yep.
Run.
Forgot about that guy.
yeah,
Most
right.
people have. That's the point. All right, I have one more story,
Yep.
and this one's pretty nuts. There's a story about how Spielberg made a bet with George Lucas against his own money and cashed in, right? So the story goes that Lucas didn't think his movie was going to make its money back from its budget. And
I
so
wonder
he
what that
knew.
was.
Yeah, exactly. Well, his space movie, Star Wars,
Yeah.
right? And so he went to Spielberg, who knew or he thought was going to crush the box office based on, 2 years prior with Jaws. And so he offered Spielberg a friendly wager. They both agreed to give each other 2.5% of the profits of their respective films.
Wow.
So
Wow.
while Spielberg's movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, is the 71st highest grossing film of all time, Star Wars is second.
Wait, so is that true? I mean, that's a
True story.
That's true to this day. So
So
Spielberg got
the difference-
2.5% of Star
correct.
Wars.
So the
Holy
difference,
shit.
well, the difference between second and 71st, 40 million.
Wow.
40 million on
only.
a bet.
Only.
Only, right? 40 million on just like a friendly, like, hey, I'll take your money if you take mine.
That is crazy.
That's how close these guys were, though. Like, we've talked about both of them in Spiel Timber all month and how close of friends they were. I mean, this just goes to show, like, they're not afraid to exchange 40 million.
I don't think either thought that was going to happen for either movie, but still.
No, well, that's the point. Yeah, Lucas said, I didn't even think I was going to make my money back. They had no idea. He was sitting on gold.
He's like, oh damn, big mistake.
Spielberg just got 40 million for just doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how often we run into that in movies. Anybody else have any?
I don't got any crazy ones.
Nope, not me.
Yeah, those are the most interesting to me. There's a bunch of stuff about Spielberg coming up with different, like, this movie went through a bunch of rewrites,
Right.
and it was an entirely different movie at first and stuff like that, but nothing like groundbreaking. It wasn't like this was going to be Alien and somebody
Yeah,
comes out of the
right.
guy's stomach. That would happen.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. All right, first question. Favorite thing about the movie? All right, Luke, why don't you go first? What was your favorite thing about the movie?
I guess I'll get it started. I liked how exciting and wondrous it was. We got like these great fast-paced scenes of these brief encounters, freakish events, a man going crazy essentially, just trying to figure out what this little encounter is, and I just think, and John Williams' score in the background completes them all perfectly. That perfect, exciting, epic, faster pace.
Yeah, I agree. John Williams knocks it out of the park as he always does.
Yeah.
There was a lot of discussion between him and Spielberg when they were trying to figure out how to communicate the tones and the sound of that.
Right.
I thought that was really neat how much thought was put into that.
Oh, absolutely.
Kevin, what about you?
I might have spoiled this during the E.T. episode, but my favorite thing is that Barry gets reunited with his mother. He gets abducted by the aliens through the dog door, and holy shit,
The dog door.
I think it was a dog door, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. And then and you're like, holy crap, they are taking this kid from the mother, and like it's a heartbreaking moment, and then
It is sad.
You do get they get reunited to it. So I mean, that was my favorite thing.
John, what was your favorite thing?
The musical communication, I think, was just really cool. Like the musical theme is used throughout, building up to when they meet the aliens and they're calling and responding to each other. They'll complete the melody and they fucking blow the windows out and they're like, "Oh God!" And it's just so sublime how the humans and aliens communicate musically. So that was my favorite part.
Yeah, I loved how intricate it was. And I assume this was on purpose, but I noticed how at first it was real basic. And it was like you're learning a language, right? You're learning the first few words. And then it just got more intricate, more complicated as they communicated.
Right.
I assume that's by design, but I really thought it was smartly done. I mean, that's what you would think, right? Would happen.
You look at music brings everyone together.
Won't disagree. So my favorite thing was just how realistic this movie feels. It probably feels the way it would actually go if an encounter were to happen. I mean, from like the standpoint where this isn't like a lot of the other alien movies we see where things get turned up to 11 in the first like hour. And you're like, oh shit, another horror movie or whatever, or alien signs taking over the world.
We're all gonna die.
Right. Yeah, exactly. This was just kind of like a natural way of how a story progresses with that initial encounter, and then you start getting the imagination and the obsession, and then maybe the supernatural aspects kick in. So you kind of just have this story of how it builds up to it, as opposed to Independence Day, where the alien shows up and then we're fighting the alien for the rest of the movie. So I liked how it felt more realistic for an alien movie.
Definitely.
All right, next category. Least favorite thing about the movie. All right, back to you, Luke.
Back to me. Okay, so like we said, I do think the majority of the effects in this are pretty decent for its time at least, but there are a few moments where I think it gets a little carried away and it doesn't age as well for me at least.
Yeah.
And those can be a little off-putting, but other than that, I have not much to say negatively about this movie.
Do you have a specific scene where the effects really threw you off? Just curiosity.
I want to say there was one back shot when they're in the car. There's like green hills behind them, and that's probably one of the bigger ones for me that aged a little poorly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I don't disagree with that. There's definitely some
Yeah.
less than desirable graphics or
Yeah.
scenes. It it wasn't. I feel like Spielberg has always been on the cutting edge in terms of like for its time.
Yes.
But if you compare this to Star Wars, I don't blink an eye when I see
Yeah.
stuff in Star Wars, right?
No.
But maybe I've seen Star Wars a million times and I don't even notice. That could be
Yeah,
it, too,
exactly.
you know?
Mhm.
They,
Yeah, I
they
think-
also they also redid Star Wars with modern
Yes,
CGI.
but-
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a little hard to piece together with the effects. Like, sort of like knowing what's going on. It's a little rude and crude and rudimentary
Yeah.
compared to Star Wars, which is in the same year. But yeah, I've seen a lot more, but I seem to understand more. But those two might go together.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. John, what was your least favorite part?
I thought might just be me because I'm simple-minded, but how the plot is exposed, like it's a little hard to follow what's going on because everything you're being shown is so random, like unexplained phenomenon, and you piece it all together,
Yeah.
and then at the end, I feel like other than Richard Dreyfuss being validated that he's not crazy, there's not like
Yeah.
a whole end game to this other than like, oh yeah, aliens are out there.
Right.
Yeah. Which I don't think they're supposed to be, but I get what you're
Mhm.
saying. Yeah, I mean, it's not. Yeah, I think that's.
It's
all
hard.
that
It's hard to
he's trying.
follow and like hold my interest, but
Yeah.
it's for a
Absolutely.
longer movie.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels all of that to whatever it is, 2:15. Unless you want
It-
Or
it's-
17 for the director's cut.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I was
Go
going to
ahead,
say
go
that I
ahead.
think the pacing is a little off, where you don't get a payoff for anything of what's happening in the movie till way down the plot or the story.
yeah,
Right.
which
And
again,
so
yeah.
it's hard. It is hard to like
Yes.
keep your interest. I'm not intrigued in it.
Right.
Like right off the bat, it doesn't keep my attention.
Oh, I
Like
think
you,
the
you and I,
first
we
scene's
talked about
weird.
like you and I
Yes.
both fell asleep on this like the first time we watched it. We had to watch
Yeah.
it a second time.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, there was something weird with the pacing where it didn't keep my interest.
Yeah, I understood.
And it was my
And-
first time watching this movie.
Yeah, was it your first time, Luke?
First time.
This was my second time. I watched it
Okay.
the first time a few years back, but
Oh, okay.
definitely a good revisit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I know we've talked about a few times on pacing and
Yeah.
does it feel like a
Yeah.
time, right? That's something that
Right.
I really liked. One of your articles or
Yes.
posts that you made on
Right.
Instagram about how it
I
feels.
mean, it came from you guys. You gave me the inspiration for the post.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, in this case, at times it felt really
Yes.
fast, and
Right.
then there were times where I
Yes.
thought it was really slow. It was
It's
really
definitely
weird.
very back and forth for sure.
Yeah, because like the first scene, I'm real confused
Yes,
what's going
right.
on. It's not.
It's like a whole new
nothing-
movie essentially. In
Which-
the first
Yeah.
couple scenes.
Which isn't unlike Spielberg, right?
No, it's
Think
very
of Jurassic
Spielberg.
Park,
Yeah,
right,
Jurassic
John?
Park.
Yeah, like that first opening scene
Yeah.
in Jurassic Park. You're like, what is this movie about?
Yes. Right. Right.
Yeah, shock and awe.
Yes.
Right. So he does like to just throw you around a little bit at the beginning.
Definitely.
My least, or Kevin, actually, did you actually say your least favorite?
Oh no, I have a more specific least favorite.
Okay,
Because
go
they'll
for
let
it.
my But when they're wearing the masks for the breathing apparatus, there is like hair and shit going through their seals. That completely makes
Of
those
course
masks
you
worthless.
would.
Like
Yeah.
if you were to wear a mask like that and there was deadly gas outside, you would be dead.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Kevin.
yeah,
Yep.
if I were to wear a mask with this beard on, it wouldn't work.
Yep, you're dead.
That's why firefighters have to shave, and that's why most of them have mustaches, actually. But yeah, so that was my least favorite thing. 'Cause those masks were just completely pointless.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
That would.
I love
That's
it.
Yep, that's a Kevin thing for sure. Attention to
That's
detail
not up to
there.
OSHA code.
My least favorite thing was that. Well, I said that the lack of character development. It makes sense that a lot of people turn this role down. I just think that Roy is less than desirable as a main character. Like, he completely bails on his family. I have 3 kids, and I cannot imagine that. John has 2 kids and divorce, and I cannot imagine him running away from his kids to jump on an alien ship.
But I mean, it's an alien ship.
Sorry, kids. I'll see you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go check out this cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, he's our one character we know anything about. Everybody else, aside from him, we don't have any background on, which to me is a negative because I think Spielberg is really good at giving us characters that are compelling, but also realistic. Like in E.T., Elliot is so good, not because he's over the top or anything like that, but we just get a sense and we feel for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we understand that he's with his single mom. He's, trying to compete or be with his brother and sister.
Yeah.
In this case, we get none of that with anybody except Richard Dreyfuss's character, Roy.
Right.
And the only other time I even feel compelled at all is, as Kevin said, when Barry gets back with his mom.
Right.
One time I did get me in the feels is when him and like his older son, he's like, he's like, you probably know your dad's not right now, and his son's like realizing something's wrong with dad, and they're that was like approaching like almost compelling.
Yeah.
All right, I'm invested
I agree.
here.
I actually agree, and that's one of my favorite lines from the movie.
Oh, mine too. Yep.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I wrote that down.
Yeah,
Sorry.
same.
So
Spoiler
I think that's what
alert.
we're,
No, spoiler. No.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's missing in the beginning of the movie is that character development. We were talking about
Agreed.
the pacing's weird because what would usually be there for any movie you don't get, and it's drug on for nothing really, except for a couple scenes here and there. So you got like 10 minutes of something awesome and 30 minutes where you would usually get something about the movie. It's just scenes put in there until something else happens.
Right.
Like it's not well thought out.
No, which again is kind of a weird thing for
Yeah,
Spielberg.
I think they try and do a lot more than they should with the visual effects. It's like some shock and awe, and it's like a lot of time in the movie. I feel like I'm supposed to be in awe, but I'm not.
Right.
Yeah, and that could be the times.
Yeah,
changed.
because I'm used to more impressive effects.
I think that's part of it. Also, Spielberg has gone on and said that E.T. is the alien movie he wanted to make.
Right.
So I think this was more pressured by other outside. I mean, this is based on, again,
the big
some
bad
other
bureaucrats
books and research.
Yep, right.
Yeah. While E.T. was more of his idea.
He was in control at that point.
Exactly. So I think that kind of had to do with it some too. But like if we compare this to Jaws in terms of characters, I mean Jaws I really like all 3 of the main guys in that.
Oh yeah.
You know, for
and beyond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the characters in that. Even the mayor that we despise for a good reason.
He's such a good
you're supposed to. Yeah.
Right. But in this movie, there's like, it's really bizarre in terms of like, there's no good guy, no bad guy, there's no anything. It really is more of a spectacle, John. Like the
whole thing's sort of just nebulous. Like, here, aliens.
Yeah, which I think is just of its time more than anything.
Yeah.
And I get into that a little bit.
Well, this is like when the time where Area 51 and all that stuff that right around that time frame.
Getting close, yeah, definitely. All right, next category. Who won the movie? All right, Kevin, you want to go first?
Yes. Barry won the movie because he got to go hang out with some aliens for a short time, and he was returned to his mother very shortly thereafter, compared to everybody else that the aliens took from
To
like
him, it just
wars in
seemed
the
like
past
that.
and whatnot. Yeah,
That's
he was
awesome.
gone for what, like a week or two?
No,
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
mean,
long.
even less to him.
It wasn't years, it wasn't decades. Like, he went up and got to see some cool shit with aliens, and then got to come back with his mom.
That's hilarious. That's a good
I
answer.
love it. Well,
Yeah.
his mom was scared shitless.
But
Yeah,
she got
can
him
understand. Yeah, nice. That's hilarious. John, what about you?
Richard Dreyfuss, because he's validated. I mean, like, that's the only sort of satisfaction I really get from this movie is like, all right, the world saw that he is not a lunatic.
Yeah, that's fair. And I do think he does a great job of acting in this. Right?
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
great in this. He does what Spielberg wanted him to do. I
Yes.
just again don't think it's compelling from a character standpoint.
No, not exactly.
But he kills the role.
Yes, definitely.
Luke, who won the movie for you?
For me, I'm thinking bigger picture. I'm gonna say the alien subgenre won the movie here.
Oh,
Because there really weren't a
that's
lot
awesome.
of like bigger alien movies before this, but like after this, you have obviously Alien, E.T., Aliens, Mars Attacks, Independence Day, all these bigger alien movies. I think were all big successes in their own rights.
Yeah,
actually,
100%.
that is very true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
think
think
he
of
knocked that out
another
of the park.
like an alien movie before this. I mean, I'm sure there
So-
are, but
There
Oh,
were a
of
couple,
course
yeah.
there
This-
were.
Oh, wait, this is a good segue because
Yeah.
who won the movie for me? Actually, I talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you said that though. That's awesome because I was thinking more in the past than what came from this movie.
Right.
So that's awesome. Really like that answer.
Yeah.
I said people who believe the truth is out there won the movie. And so most aliens we see, as I mentioned about the aliens, is like how scary they are, or
Yes.
you know, the genre changed, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So before this, we actually had alien movies that were either cartoonish, like the Flash
Right.
Gordons,
Oh, yeah.
or straight horror,
Yeah.
like Invasion of the Body
Yeah,
Snatchers.
Snatchers.
Those
Yeah.
are
Oh.
alien movies that came
Yes.
before this, but
Yes.
very cartoonish, or like I said, just horror.
Mhm.
With the exception of Kubrick's 2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
That's in its own like world.
Yeah,
it
but
was- yeah.
still even sort of horror suspenseful.
Definitely.
Right, different
Scary.
than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are parts where it's. I mean, I guess that's true. It does turn scary. This does not really.
No.
So it kind
not
of
at all.
changed the way we perceived alien movies as a genre, which perfectly, as you said, Luke, put it into a new category. I mean, we had so many more bigger alien movies, like
Yeah.
movies that really stuck out because before this, Invasion of the Body Snatchers
Mhm.
wasn't pushing the
Aliens
right?
bad.
No.
Yeah, right. We get more from Alien, one Alien movie than
Yes.
we do from 40 years of Alien movies,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right.
Right.
So yeah, I just thought that this movie kind of gave a more realistic possibility for all the people who thought the truth was out there. Thanks to the X-Files. 'Cause we know there's a lot of people that are out there, and right, and I feel like it was validating for those people. Like, this is what could happen.
Just
Or there
like
might be
Richard
people like,
Dreyfuss.
hey, this is what happened.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah,
I
just
didn't
like-
imagine this, goddammit.
Or speaking of Independence Day, Randy Quaid's character.
Yeah. Oh, what a character.
That's Richard Dreyfuss's
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
that was
next.
one of my alternate
Oh.
likes was that the human alien interaction was friendly.
Yeah.
But I think that goes
Yeah.
to Luke's point that it broadened sort of the horizon of alien movies that could be made.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like that interaction too, because again,
Definitely.
who knows? I mean, everybody thinks the worst, but
Yeah,
I
they're
like,
gonna
I like
kill us
exploring
all.
different takes. Yeah,
Oh,
right.
of course.
Yeah, it's fun seeing film in different ways.
Yeah.
All right, next category. Favorite line from the movie. Luke, what was your favorite line?
Yes. Okay, so I'll stay away from the one we started mentioning earlier. So I'm gonna go with the one with Einstein when they're talking about how they didn't age. It is Einstein was right. Einstein was probably one of them.
Einstein was right. Einstein was probably one of them.
Yes. It's funny because I had two of them, and those are my two.
Wow.
So I'll go with the other
Yep.
one.
Yep.
And it's kind of what you were saying, John. Like, the only time I felt compelled with Roy and his family, because most of the time I'm like, all right, do I not like his wife? Do I not like him? Like, who's the juror? Like, I didn't really get any closure out of anything. He was kind of ignorant to his family, and she wanted him to be molded in a certain way, but no one was really at fault. But it did feel like there was a sense of character or relationship between him and his son when he was like, I guess you've noticed something a little strange with Dad.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you've noticed something that's a little strange with Dad.
It's okay, though. I'm still Dad.
It's okay, though. I'm still Dad.
Yep. Yep.
John, what was your favorite line?
When he's getting interviewed, interrogated by the government academic people, and they they show him a picture of Devil's Tower or whatever. And they're like, does this mean anything to you? He just throws it aside. He's like, yeah, I've got a bunch of them at home.
Look at this. Yeah, I got one just like it in my living room. Who are you people?
Because he's just been obsessing about it the whole movie. He's like, yeah, I know what the fuck it is. What do you want to know about it?
Yeah, what's interesting, I feel like in that era was like going over the top, but not making it feel like a big deal. Like him doing the whole sculpture in the living room. It was insane, right?
Yeah.
But like
Just
we're
throwing
not,
stuff through the window.
Yeah.
yeah, but like we're not told or made to think that it's crazy. Like we know it's crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not over. Like I feel like that era was different with that kind of stuff. Like
Well,
Space
I mean, it does,
Odyssey.
like, his wife and kids all, like,
Yeah,
basically
sure.
flee the house while
Yeah,
he's
and then the whole neighborhood is
uprooting
just
plants.
surrounding his house to stop doing what they're doing. Just like, what the hell is going on over there?
Yeah, I guess
what
that's
the
true.
hell?
But I feel like that era did like go over the top though.
Yeah.
Like that.
I felt like that part was very, like Disturbia or, you know, oh shit, what's that Tom Hanks movie where it's like the suburbs
Castaway?
and everyone's everyone's
Oh,
everyone's
The
out of
Burbs.
everyone's
The
business.
Burbs.
The Burbs.
The Burbs.
Good
yeah.
movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Underrated.
Yes.
Anyways.
Yeah, I do agree. It does kind of feel like that. Kevin, was your favorite line?
It's a little bit of a back and forth, but it's when Roy and Ronnie are up before a bunch of stuff happens. He's trying to explain what he saw, and he goes, "It was like an ice cream cone. What flavor? Orange?
It was like an ice cream cone.
What flavor?
Orange.
It wasn't like an ice cream cone. More like a shell, like a taco. Was it like a Sara Lee moon-shaped cookie?
Like a taco? Was it like one of those Sara Lee moon-shaped cookies?
That's a good
I
one.
love it.
That's a good one.
They just all right, what food was it?
Just trying to just keep
Yeah.
just
Just keep
describing
going on and on,
what he
yep.
saw in food.
A Choco
Nice.
Taco.
Yeah. Oh man, nice. Any other ones?
No, that's what I had.
I had
Yeah, I
one
had
more.
Yeah, go for it.
He looks like a 50-50 bar. I don't know exactly what that means. Never heard that as an insult before or anything like that. Just stood out to me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love how like that. I just like how they see that thing and they don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
It's wild, which is cool. Again, another thing I think is just that supernatural aspect, but
Yes.
not being over the top, like an alien coming out of your stomach,
Yes, right.
which again is cool. I'm not,
It is.
but it's different.
a little
the
more
suspense.
subtle.
Yeah, a little more so.
Just a little.
All right, we got 2 more categories. We got our podium categories coming up. We got, is this a podium role for any of the top billed cast members? I think this will be interesting. Richard Dreyfuss, we said yes. I said yes.
I said yes.
I said yes.
Nice. While again, I don't care for this character, he does a great job.
He does.
He's a main character.
Yes, he
He's
is.
the only real
He
character,
is,
if we're
yep.
being honest.
Right.
And crazy enough, again, as I mentioned, he also won an Oscar the same year for The Goodbye Girl.
Right.
So that's probably on his podium.
And
'cause
that would
that's-
probably be on it too, yep.
yeah, you got a Best Actor nod. That works.
I didn't
That
put
works.
that on my podium for him just because I haven't seen it.
Yep.
Well,
Same
that's
here.
fair. Yeah, that's fair. And then I just said probably Mr. Holland's Opus, or What About Bob would be my third. I mean, those are great ones. What else did you guys have?
You have Hooper for Jaws?
Yeah.
I
there's
had
Jaws.
him for Jaws.
I didn't, because I think Mr. Holland's Opus, he was up for Best
Yes, right.
Actor.
I haven't seen that, so.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
also
I
have
can't
not
say
seen
it,
that
yeah.
one.
I
either.
haven't
okay.
seen it in a long time.
I remember being
the one-
sad.
Yeah,
one I have that
no
might
wonder
throw-
why I haven't seen it again.
One that might throw you guys off a little bit, because I was like, holy shit, I love this movie. But he does the voice acting for the Centipede in James and the Giant Peach.
Ooh.
Oh,
I didn't
really?
see that. I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Wow.
For
So
him.
I put that as my number 3 for him.
Nice.
Oh,
I didn't know
look
that.
at that.
Notice I don't remember.
That's
Who else was a
backdoor
voice in that?
curveball.
Did you look?
I didn't look any deeper into that. I apologize.
No, it's fine. I just was curious if you saw that and was like, wait, who else is that? Because I feel like there are some other actors in that.
There's gotta be.
Yeah,
oh,
for sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Did you have anybody else or any other movies, Luke, on yours?
I had one more. I'm definitely missing some of his big ones. So my third is either gotta be just Stand By Me or The Graduate. Smaller roles, but small
Yep.
roles in big movies.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Small,
that's a
meaningful
good
roles,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's always
important
a
small
debate.
roles.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's always a good debate. That's why I didn't have Jaws, just
Right.
because I think he's the third fiddle, but he's
Right.
good in it, and I love that movie, so I could see an argument either way.
Yeah, and they're all
Yeah.
real strong characters too.
I know it's
Oh, definitely.
that. Yeah, that's a tough one. I only wrote down 2 other people because, again, there's not a lot of cast at all in this.
No.
The other 2 I wrote down just because they were the top billed on IMDb was
Yeah.
Francois Truffaut or
Yeah.
Truffaut.
He was a yes for me. Only movie
Yeah.
I've seen from him.
Yeah, exactly. And what I saw from him, obviously he's the Claude Leco or Lecbaum, the French guy.
Oh
And,
no.
Right. So,
And
what I-
anybody that can speak French better than us, please correct Matt in the
Yeah,
comments.
someone help us out here.
unless it's Sprechen Sie Deutsch, I struggle mostly with every other language,
Yeah.
including English. But he was mostly a writer anyway, which I thought was interesting. I don't even know how. I think Spielberg struggled with getting French actors, and so kind of
Right.
came across him. The other one I had was Melinda Dillon. Do you guys
Melinda
recognize
Dillon.
her?
Yeah, I put her down. John should
I-
definitely recognize her.
I know John
I-
should recognize
yes.
her. John, do you
I-
recognize Melinda Dillon, who played Jillian Geiler, the mom with the Barry, the mom of Barry?
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
You know who
famous
that
mom.
is?
I should.
Think of
No.
holiday movies, John.
Yeah.
Think of the
Yep.
movie you watch
She
the most on
is
Christmas.
the holiday, maybe
Yeah,
one of the
she
holiday
is.
moms.
Yeah, she might be the. That's true.
And John's like, holy
She's not the
mind-
mom, is she?
Mind blown.
She's the mom in A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
crazy?
okay, yeah. Oh, I get it. Barry's mom?
Yeah.
Barry's
Yeah,
mom.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. She's hot. I'll say it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
She's also in Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, that was my other one on my podium. Because even though she was up for a Best Supporting Actor in this or Actress in this movie, and she was also up for Best Supporting Actress in one other movie. I didn't write it down.
It was
Did you-
Magnolia. Yeah, Magnolia.
Mhm.
Yes.
She was up for Best Supporting in
Magnolias?
that.
Wow.
No,
I
it
do-
wouldn't be
I do
Steel
believe so.
Magnolias.
Wow. Okay. Well, Magnolia is an awesome.
I
movie.
might have
Yes.
written that
Oh,
down wrong.
one of my favorites. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love Magnolia.
Yeah, PTA, great movie.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she actually has a pretty good resume, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
Cause yeah, Harry and the Hendersons. Come on.
Alright, Barry's a little shithead.
Right.
I know he's being influenced by aliens, but god damn it, Barry. What are you doing to your mother?
Well, funny.
I did make a note about Terry Garr, who plays Ronnie.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
consider.
Oh,
her
okay.
also. Yep.
Yeah,
But,
I didn't look. I didn't look her
yeah.
up. What do you got?
I didn't
Give
find
her a
much
list.
about her, but one was
Yeah.
she is Helen Swanson in Dumb and Dumber.
Yep. That was on my podium.
Shit.
That made my podium.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, definitely.
I thought that was worth noting.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. That's interesting. That's like 18 years later.
Yeah, that was been what, like 95, 93?
94, 95, yeah. Did you have her in any other movies? Luke?
I
Yes.
oh, go ahead.
I had one other too. I had her in Young Frankenstein.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
the female lead in that. Yeah.
she's the lead? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I feel bad I didn't look into her more. Oh,
I didn't
bummer.
I didn't
love
go that far
movie,
back in the time.
But it's
I
been
should
a
have done
while.
that.
Last category. Does this movie podium in the year 1977? Should be interesting.
Yeah.
Luke, guest of honor. Why don't you go
Yeah.
first?
Okay, I'll go first. This does make my podium. This makes my
Nice.
top three. So we'll start with number 3. I had Smokey and the Bandit,
Nice.
Good
one
one.
of my favorite comedies.
Yep.
And number 2, there's Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Nice.
Very, very good Spielberg. Not quite peak Spielberg, but still very good.
Yep.
Very good early Spielberg. The number 1's gotta be Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Nope.
Untouchable.
Yeah, I agreed.
I have a
This
feeling
is-
there might be a consensus number one.
Yeah, a bit of
I
a
think
trend.
so. I think I'd call you a liar or crazy, or
Yeah.
you didn't watch the
Or a
movie,
troll.
but-
Yes.
or a troll, yeah.
Yep.
Well, you never know, Kevin. I
This
do
is,
know that
this
there's
is
a
the-
Bond movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll see
Kevin-
where it lands.
Yeah, let's see where that Bond movie lands. Kevin, why don't you go next?
Yeah.
Number 3, Luke and I have the same, Smokey
Yeah.
and the Bandit.
So,
It's
Nice.
just
Good choice.
it's just a fun
Yeah.
fun movie.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the Bond movie, The Spy Who Loved Me. With Roger Moore, it's got the introduction of Jaws in this
Oh,
movie.
shit, really?
wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it-
I
it-
didn't realize that.
it's a very different Jaws, not the shark.
Yeah, I know.
The man with the very
Yeah.
big metal teeth that was in the movie, not movie, but the video game 64 game,
Yeah.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
That was just gigantic. That guy was introduced in
Yep.
that movie.
Nice.
Yep,
Anyways, number 1, Star Wars: A New Hope.
No.
Definitely.
of course. I said no.
No.
It's good, but I thought these three were slightly better. Well, one's not. One's in a different world. Galaxy, sorry.
Far,
Number
far away.
3, yeah, exactly. Number 3, I had Annie Hall.
Ooh.
It's the best picture winner of the
Yeah.
year. And while it
Yeah.
does have its holes, it's still a pretty
Yeah.
mesmerizing film for me.
Yeah, personally, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I don't love it. I prefer other Woody Allen movies.
Most people do,
Yep.
including me actually. But
Yep.
for some reason, it holds a spot
Yep.
for me. Number 2 is Smokey and the Bandit.
And
That made all four.
There we go.
That made
It
all
made
four
all
of our
four.
lists.
there you go. There we go.
I love this movie too. Burt Reynolds in one big ass
Oh, yes.
car chase scene.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Didn't you say he only
oh, yeah.
got out of the car like in one scene?
One scene, and it's like towards the end when he's like making out with Forrest Gump's mom.
Yeah. Yep.
Sally Field.
Sally Field.
I just like connecting the dots. And then of course number 1, there's no suspense. It's Star Wars.
Yep.
You don't even need to state how groundbreaking it was. It's crazy
No.
that there were 2 space movies in the same year,
Yes.
and one was Star Wars. Like that's just.
One was Star Wars. Yep.
It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, Luke, for diving
Yes.
in on this with
Right.
us, because
Yep.
we wanted to end our Spieltember with one last Spielberg movie, since we have an extra week in
Definitely.
September, or extra few
Right.
days.
Right. Of course.
And yeah, this was different than
Yes.
some of the other movies.
Yes.
So I liked how we got to just kind of sit and digest this.
Right. Thanks for having me. And can I fit in my top 5 now?
Oh.
So I couldn't think of a good enough tangent for it. So I gotta save it for the end.
Nice. Nice.
Man,
Well
surprise him
done.
with a top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's nice.
So we have my top 5 Spielberg creatures. So like my top 5 Spielberg
Ooh.
characters that aren't humans.
Cool.
So
All right.
starting at outside looking in, we have the aliens from War in the World. Pretty cool aliens. Decently suspenseful, intense, some good encounter moments. But
Yeah.
just missed it then for me. Number 5 is the aliens from Artificial Intelligence that show up near the end.
Yep.
I think they give it like that great extra emotional touch, give that extra sentimental value to the movie that I think
Yep.
really brings it all together for me.
It's a good
So
call.
then number 4 we have Aliens and Close Encounters of the Third Kind for number 4.
Yep.
Right here, good, fun, cute little guys.
Yeah.
They're just here, just
Cute little fellas.
having a good time, enjoying some good music. Okay, so then number 3 we have Bruce the Shark.
Nice.
A different kind of creature.
Good
Different kind
call.
of creature.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely not human.
Yep. Not quite human. Yep. So then number 2 we got the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, the original. For number
Yes,
2.
of course.
Right.
Oh, that's
T-Rex
a tough
is-
one to
yep.
beat.
I
T-Rex
know.
definitely my favorite for them.
Nice.
Gotta love the T-Rex. Gotta love the Raptors. Then number 1 for me is E.T. in all of his kind.
Yeah.
E.T. It's actually my favorite Spielberg movie.
Nice.
I think it has his most emotional movie as far as like that friendship goes.
Agreed.
Great friendship between Elliot and E.T. One of my favorite child performances by Henry Thomas.
Yep.
Knocks it out of the park.
So
And really,
good.
all 3 of them,
Yeah, the kids are so
all the
good
kids,
in that.
they do
And
so good.
yeah, that's a great list. It
Yeah,
definitely.
that is a very good one. Very good.
Wait, here we go.
Even I haven't done it. There it is.
Thank you.
Yeah, even Kevin still has not done a top 5.
We're only 64 episodes in.
Yeah.
And I haven't done the top 5 yet.
It's awesome. No, that's a great list. I knew you were going with E.T.
Yeah.
And you have to, just because of what E.T. is and represents.
Oh, of course.
But Jurassic Park, I didn't even, you kind of forget that's a Spielberg movie in some
Right.
ways.
Yes.
We did it
Definitely.
as our first episode.
Yeah.
Well done. I'm glad you squeezed that in. That was
Yes, I'm glad I was able to make it work somehow.
nice. Yeah, we didn't really talk.
Yeah.
We talked about the aliens at the
That's, like,
beginning.
very- yeah.
That was it. That's hilarious. All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun, Luke.
Yes.
Again, check out Mr. Movies on Instagram. He's got a lot of fun posts, and we like to tag along and jump
Yes.
in the comments there.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for tuning into our show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes.
Later.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, bye.
Hey, yeah, bye, everybody.
Bye. One word. Only one word.
Yeah.
everybody.